So, so Lemonade today had an issue where they posted a thread about themselves and their data advantage.
Wait, so back up. Lemonade. What is Lemonade? They're an insurance provider. I used them for rental insurance in my last apartment. I don't know if they have other kinds of insurance. I'm sure they do.
Yeah, it's basically an insurance provider
Yeah.
of different types.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they have been super popular or like really a thing recently, but like it is one of the insurance companies that you see ads for a lot. Not as much as Geico, not as much as Girlco. No, I don't know. I can't list insurance companies.
I will say that it was really easy to use them and to get insurance through them. It was very quick and painless. And I had a good experience with them, but let's see what they have to say today.
Hashtag not sponsored by Lemonade. This is not an ad.
No, it is not. I'm just giving my
But
opinion.
they basically had a thing where they were like, oh, we're trying to be transparent and talk about how our product is built. So they go, and for the most part, their tweets are fine. Like in this thread, you notice like these are some normal ratios here. So they're talking about like, okay, so now here's how we collect the information. We collect 20 to 40 fields of information from everybody. And this data helps us understand the level of risk each customer brings, which improves our underwriting, customer acquisition, and fraud detection. So like, they're obviously telling us a little bit about how the sausage is made, in terms of like, what does an insurance company have to worry about? Underwriting, customer acquisition, and fraud detection seem to be important things an insurance company is worried about from what they're posting.
Sure.
So this is where they get into trouble here. This tweet right here. And you can just see the difference in ratio here. We got 4 responses to this one above it, 18 retweets, 26 likes. So this one, and these are quote tweets. It's not even showing like the retweets amount, but 22 retweets, 1,483 quote tweets.
What is a quote tweet?
Yeah, a quote tweet is like one of these. So we click it and we get to see what all the people have like added their own commentary on top of the tweet.
Oh, it's not just like a retweet is something where you just like put out what somebody else says, but you don't have any commentary with
Exactly.
it. And a quote tweet, you do have commentary.
A quote tweet, yeah, exactly.
Wow, I'm learning things about Twitter
So
today.
if you have a lot of quote tweets, that's usually an indication that your tweet is doing poorly. Or
well, not necessarily. It just means people have things to say, something to say.
Yeah, I mean, I could imagine a tweet that's like, quote tweet this and add your thing to like, that would have like a lot of quote tweets.
So, okay, what is the tweet that got a lot of engagement from
Lemonade? Okay, so their tweet is, for example, when a user files a claim, they record a video on their phone and explain what happened. Our AI carefully analyzes these videos for signs of fraud. It can pick up nonverbal cues that traditional insurers can't, since they don't use a digital claims process. Okay, and then they kind of go away to give away the game here. They go on to give away a little more about this.
Okay.
Which is, this ultimately helps us lower our loss ratios, aka how much we pay out in claims versus how much we take in, and our overall operating costs. In Q1 2017, our loss ratio was 368%. Friggin' terrible. And in Q1 2021, it stood at 71%.
I don't know if this is something that they should be admitting to the public, especially just like on their social media channel.
Right?
Like, that doesn't
I feel like I saw
good.
a few tweets that were like, who is the audience for this tweet thread? Because it sort of seems like you weren't supposed to be telling us this stuff.
Yeah, totally. This seems like an internal, like, investor-facing,
yes.
like,
doesn't it?
Employee-facing message that says, "Ooh, good."
Like if I'm a Lemonade customer and I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, so you guys decided to create an AI that would reduce your loss percentage, your loss ratio.
Which means that they're not paying out as much.
Yeah.
Which does not seem like something
that
good. You would want to share with your customers.
Yeah. If I'm an insurance customer, I want to see that they're paying out a lot.
Yeah, totally. Otherwise, I'm not going to sign up with them.
Why would I sign up if you're going to weed me out for fraud? So, all of the things that we've talked about, and we can just look at some of these quote tweets here. Mm-hmm. And there's new ones every 10 seconds. Those are just 10 seconds ago. Alessandra Luce says, imagine being this out of touch with the consequences of your bad AI. Someone says, capitalism, where we will use a program that we claim is smart enough to detect fraud to deny you the benefits you've spent years paying into on the basis that your emotional response isn't just right. Yep, never ever getting insurance through this company. Yeah. This person says, it is insane that data science leadership at Lemonade didn't kill this idea immediately upon inception. 2 reasons. 1, a neural net trained on these videos might use information about a customer's race, age, or gender to determine which claims to flag high risk. And then he's obviously got another tweet after that. Some people are just saying, like, what the F? Mm-hmm. This can and will discriminate against the neurodivergent. Mm. Many have pointed out that many issues here. Actually, I'm skeptical it has really been implemented in any real sense, and think that they just think this is a good marketing gimmick. What training data set could have possibly been put together for this? So yeah, like somebody else I saw was saying like, okay, so you're determining fraud based on a training set of data that are all fraudulent people. How do you get that data?
Yeah, totally.
Like, how are you doing that? So I think there's a few different questions here. Mm-hmm. I got into this myself. We're not going to go over my tweets, but got a decent amount of likes for my tweets.
But yeah, it just seems like a bad idea to use an AI to determine if a video that somebody made was fraudulent or not. And it also, didn't it say something about like nonverbal cues? So like, what if somebody does what? They're gonna claim it as fraudulent. Like that doesn't seem right. Yeah.
So like exactly, if somebody does what, and the implication is that there's an arbitrary set of things that they've decided are fraudulent, and they're not necessarily going to tell the public what those are.
Yeah, like, is it if you're looking away from the camera?
Yeah.
But, like, maybe you're just not comfortable, like, filming yourself on camera.
Exactly.
Or, like,
also, don't a lot of these claims happen, like, right after some really horrible stuff has gone down?
Totally.
Your house burned down. You got in a car crash. Mm-hmm. A mudslide took away your whole barn. Like, people are going to be upset. They're going to be like what if someone's in shock? Are they going to say like, oh, this person's committing fraud? And, you know, obviously the company has gone back to say some more, like, okay, obviously they said this tweet was poorly worded.
Okay. Yeah. What did they say?
Here, they say this tweet was badly worded. We'd never auto-reject claims based on user videos and AI. Our automation tools help investigators find suspicious activity and real fraud. This helps us keep rates low and pay claims fast. Here's more. And they link to basically a blog article that they wrote about how they're using AI to be their sixth sense, which is not... It's just not like comforting. This isn't comforting to me. Seeing this, knowing that, like, this is their graph they have on this.
Why are they showing us
their declining loss ratio? Like, as though the public who's using their product has this as a goal.
Right.
We do not. We don't care
no,
about
we
this.
really do not. Wrong target market.
So yeah, so, and not to mention, like, so many studies have been done about facial recognition and the harms that it causes. It's like, it's not good enough. It's not good enough at this point to differentiate between two different people in a lot of cases. So there's been misidentifications of people where they're like, oh, we're using facial recognition to determine if this is a person we know or not. The system flags the person as we know them, and it turns out to be a completely different person. Also, it seems to really depend on like the color of your skin, how dark the color of your skin is. Has a really tough time, facial recognition technology, figuring out just based on the training data, essentially. So it's gonna, if you train your facial recognition system that all the criminals are like of a certain skin color, it's gonna find criminals in a population that are not criminals just based on their skin color. So that's all been proven to be a thing. Like, that's, I can post links in the description, but yeah, like, this doesn't help me because in their original thread they had the follow-up tweet which was just like, here's how we use this data to reduce our loss ratio from 368 to 71. And it's like, you might not be like, the machine isn't auto rejecting stuff, it is just flagging it for an investigator to use as a plausible, like, here's a plausibility that you can use to deny someone their insurance.
I mean, I guess that makes me feel a little bit better that they're not being auto-rejected because of something that the AI catches. But I am still very interested to know what are those things that is making the video be flagged.
Right. So, like, how much more transparency are we going to get out of the company at this point? Like,
have they said anything more beyond this?
No,
now?
I think this was like like, it was a problem basically.
Yeah.
And this tweet was like their last tweet of the day.
Okay.
It was like damage control, and then now what this company is going to do most likely is pretend this never happened. Possibly in the next few days, even delete this whole tweet thread.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look good for them.
Yeah.
And honestly, they do not care. Like, they don't care. Like, they're not worried about the ethics of this. As is demonstrated here. This is from 2019 or 2020, January 2020. So this has been more than a year without a bunch of backlash, and now they posted about it and people are freaking out. So I think basically what happened is not enough people like knew that this was a thing, or knew in which way the company is using this data, because the company themselves, they really don't care. They see it as a tool. Like, this is just a tool to help us like flag things, and if you get past that tool, I guess you're golden. Like, somebody else was saying, like, okay, so if you're really good at like manipulating and making sure that your face is doing the right thing, you can just get money from your company for free, probably, because this isn't going to get flagged.
Yeah, totally.
Which, I don't know if that's true or not. Like, they obviously have like a human backup system, but in my experience, if a human is given a reason to worry about something, they're going to use that as like an excuse.
True.
They'll be like, oh, I've got this excuse to like deny this person because they showed up on the fraud thing. So.
Okay, well, I don't love this. And I feel like that's going to turn a lot of people off from like signing up with their company, or maybe even like switching companies if they know that this company is doing that.
Yeah. So the other reason they could be posting this is because Lemonade wants to get bought by a Geico or somebody who's like,
yeah, maybe.
Who's like, you know what? Like, we have the marketing savvy to like not post stuff like this on our social media.
Yeah.
And we also want that AI tool that they have.
That's interesting.
This could be a way to
I didn't
just
even
like
think about that.
post about their AI tool and be like, we want to get bought by like another company.
Yeah, and like spreading that loss percentage or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like making that very apparent.
Exactly. Like that's like
that's
who,
interesting.
Who is
I didn't
the
think
target
about
for
that.
this thread? Like,
yeah,
who is
maybe it is like a Geico or.
It's so interesting. It's somebody in the insurance realm for sure, and I doubt that it's like an actual customer. But yeah, so that is the Lemonade saga as it stands right now, and yeah, just keep checking this. Keep checking this tweet. See how many quote tweets. We're up to 1,500. It's kind of ridiculous. Love to file an insurance claim with Hal. From all right, yeah. I mean, it's just like, yep.
Yeah.
Everyone has the right idea here. Like this is not an example. This is an example of like the algorithm is showing you the truth. Like if this company cares about data so much, what they should be doing is being like, people hate this.
Yeah.
The data shows people hate this, so maybe we don't do it.
I don't think they care what people like and dislike.
Nope. I insurance, dude. Insurance runs so much. All right.